stuck on this earthly pilgrimage, lost or will to live. The kingdoms at hand, place appears because of mental explosion, brain corrosion, collecting heads and Romans, awaken the lost tribes that's been dozing. The prophets have erosion to resurrect the chosen, while the universe stands frozen. The prophecies start unfolding, exploding. While the whole world sleeps, the shepherds of lost sheep creep deep to the golden gates. It's Esau the Lord hates, from crimes of thievery to even murder and rape. We close the drapes, watch them like grapes, while these fakes that perpetrate my people's, there's no equal in it. We do the Deuteronomy 7 and 6. I know it's hard like bricks, but don't trip, we got the kingdom coming. No more slumming and bumming, the Lord's coming. Busting through, reach St. John 4 and 22, and guess who? The Lord's got us for. Settle the score. All you heathens hit the floor. See these 12 stars, defenders of the law. Tiger Woods enough to fall for this. Scandalous, murderous, evangelist who's girded up, ready to die for the words of the script. We too wise to be dumb. The hell with ice, we want the kingdom. Let's get out these sons and tell them where we from. Israel, you heard this, tuck tail, the bell, you rhyme to trail. You stepped in the zone when we excel. We too wise to be dumb. The hell with ice, we want the kingdom. Let's get out these sons and tell them where we from. Israel, you heard this, tuck tail, the bell, you rhyme to trail. You stepped in the zone when we excel.
It's on, I pop my color like spawn, transform a sandstorm, right? I take storm, reborn like the children of the corn with the going on, legion is swarm, be warm, sound of alarms, I horn, dreams like hideous screams, posted in between ivory beams, Israelite kings, scandalous as particular cancer, bandage and damage and challenges, brandish handles with silence and smite, I'm light on like halogens, oh yeah, drop the ass, spark the block up, super shoulders, dropping bombs, bows and boulders, big shots blaze, big bugs with big bowlers, I stop blazing, weed to stack dollars, got more styles, more grooves than Elijah One got post moves, so smooth, so cool, roll through, and roast you see, lyrical vocals, cold crush and flow through, sandstorm riders inside us, some motherfucking riot, phantom menaces, with nail wrinkles of blemishes, sinister venomous citizens, witness the advantages in, back to Genesis, it's simple and plain, we got you breaking for the bridge like IQAhmath crane, it's on.
We too wise to be dumb, the hell with ice, we want the kingdom, let's get out these sons and tell them where we from. Israel, you heard this, tuck tail, the bell, you rhyme to trail, you stepped in the zone when we excel. We too wise to be dumb, the hell with ice, we want the kingdom, let's get out these sons and tell them where we from. Israel, you heard this, tuck tail, the bell, you rhyme to trail, you stepped in the zone when we excel.
I represent the struggle for excellence, no one can keep alive, a ghetto survivor, born in a generation of vipers, the venom be the backbite, hating individuals here, snake slither and snare, we don't feel for here.
Affliction is straight rough on the J, especially when you've been thrown in a pit of snakes. My breath intake be great, my mind state is like whatever it takes. I ain't off for the dough, let's get it straight. Now you wanna be bold, let the truth be told. Most of us don't know, we were sold like black gold. Niggas don't care, you rather get blowed. I ain't staying silent like tiptoes, I'm up early like the crow.
Pain and discipline, souls together in game, rather than shattering stain. Deal the tattered and main, vanish the damaged and lane, ravish the bastards to claim, repping his thing. See what more balls and jock straps, more balls and crotch grass, more balls and spalling, more balls and rolling, got more balls and all of them here. Back to New Orleans, rap stingers to linger that represent like symbols and flags and middle fingers.
We don't linger, make it happen with the Nina. I'm a head turner like Tina, looking for wisdom. Have you seen her? SOJ, we leading the race. Keep up the pace, now follow the leaders. Come on, we too wise to be dumb. The hell with ice, we want the kingdom. Let's get out these sons and tell them where we from. Israel, you heard this, tuck tail, the bell, you rhyme to trail. You stepped in the zone when we excel. We too wise to be dumb. The hell with ice, we want the kingdom. Let's get out these sons and tell them where we from. Israel, you heard this, tuck tail, the bell, you rhyme to trail. You stepped in the zone when we excel.
Israel!
All right, Shalom, Israel. Shalom, 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 Shabbat shalom, peace. Welcome to another episode of DSTM. Don't shoot the messenger. This is your brother Ahmath. I acquire first name. IQ is all the same. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, Yahweh Shai. Blessed are the children of Israel and Israel alone. Right. Shout out to the 12 tribes scattered abroad, 1 through 12. Salute to the brothers and sisters that's in the chat. Do me a favor, y'all. There has been some changes with the streaming servers that we're using, and I'm noticing that the layout is looking much different. There's a vertical layout where things are looking kind of crazy, and then there's an actual horizontal layout that is normal. Throw a 7 in the chat if you're watching this vertically when it looks like I'm doing a TikTok or an Instagram reel or something like that, or does it look normal? As a horizontal showing. 7 in the chat if you're seeing me vertical. I don't know what's going on. They changed some settings on here and it's got me looking crazy. Okay, all of y'all are seeing me vertically, and I don't like that. Now, see what's interesting is see, they've been messing with this thing, man. There's another, let me see something. There's another stream of MOTC reloaded, and it's playing simultaneously. One is vertical, one is horizontal, and I don't know how to change this damn thing. Salaki y'all for the inconvenience, because it may affect how the PowerPoint looks. You might not be able to see everything. I'm trying to see if I can. Yeah, see. Let me see if I can somehow get rid of this thing, man. Get me back to normal. It happened last week too. Yeah, I noticed that, man. Matter of fact, they have 2 different streams. One had its own viewing, and the vertical had its own viewing, and the horizontal had its own viewing. It's always something with this thing, man. As Elder Ross, I would say, technology is only good when it works. They did something with this StreamYard thing, man, that now it's got the format looking crazy. Give me Slaki, y'all. Just give me a minute. Even y'all even y'all comments. Do you see here? At CU2477, right? That's not your normal handle. See when you leave in the comments? Look at y'all names. Yeah, this is. It's lucky for the inconvenience. So let me see if man, let me see if there's something I can do to get this thing back on track. Yeah. Yeah, my apologies, y'all, because I don't know what the hell, how to fix this thing. I'm working on the fly. If things ain't looking right when it's all. Look at this. I just changed this thing back over here. Come on. if you notice, there is going to be another. You can even go back into your subscriptions, and when you go back onto the MOTC page, you can click on one, and it should uh, give you the option to change to the horizontal view. So that's what I just had to do that on my. Just looked on my phone. I had the vertical, and you might see two different streams playing. I don't know how the hell this thing is doing it, but man, this is crazy. Yeah, one's got me looking super big. Yeah, one is like streaming as if it's like a short or something. And then there's another. Yeah, go to your subscription if you can, and you'll see two different streams going. One's vertical, one's horizontal. And to see everything correctly, you're going to have to switch over to the horizontal one, because this thing is bugged out. I got to figure out what's going on, if possible. Yeah, we're just going to do it like that, y'all. So if you want to see it correctly, go out, check your go to your subscription, go to the MOTC channel. You should see two streams going, and you're gonna see both. You're gonna see both picture views. These damn bastards changed this on me. Yeah, they changed the format on this thing, man. I didn't even notice. Yeah, Elder Shah, I'm addressing it now, brother. If you can just go to the MOTC channel where you're gonna see the actual subscription. You're gonna see two different streams going. One's gonna have me vertical, one's gonna have me horizontal. Just click on the horizontal one, you'll get the right angle. Other than that, I got to figure out what's going on. Yeah, all of y'all gonna notice is two different streams is going. One's playing vertical, one's playing horizontal. So I guess the immediate one that you get notified by is playing the vertical one. So for now, just switch over to the horizontal. Everybody switch to the horizontal so you can see everything correctly. And I got to do some background on what the hell's going on with this these angles. I think what they're trying to do is they're trying to make it more, I guess, user friendly when it comes down to what people like, when it comes down to those reels and Instagram stuff. Or they're giving like options for the creators to clip stuff and already have it in format to make a short immediately for YouTube. I think they're making it more convenient for us, but for the less tech savvy cats like me, I know a little bit, but when they just start implementing stuff, I don't know what the hell is going on now. But Lord willing, man, y'all can follow those instructions and you'll be able to see it correctly. And we'll see what happens from there. All right. Again, all praise, honor, glory to the Most High. Shabbat shalom to everybody that's in here. A couple of things we got to talk about, man. Your man Trump is losing it. He is losing it, man. This cat is out here threatening to unalive his Demo-Crip opponents, charging them with sedition, saying that they need to be executed. Damn near, There's word on on the streets, man, that he's invading. He's already invaded. Boots on the ground in Mexico. Remember, a couple of weeks back, I did the video saying that he's declaring war on blacks and browns, right? So he's got Mexico, Venezuela, Colombia, Nigeria. He's already got warfare going on here internally, all directed towards blacks and browns, right? So that wasn't cap. That wasn't, just a made up thing. You dig what I'm saying? Like we can see what's going on. Everybody that's tuning in, some of y'all are just coming in right now. If you're seeing me vertically, go to the MOTC channel on your subscriptions. You're gonna see 2 streams playing. One's vertical, one's horizontal. Go to the horizontal one, so that you can properly see the PowerPoint and everything else. All right, 1 second, y'all. Slacky. This streaming thing is tripping right now, and it made some changes behind closed doors, and either that or I didn't pay attention to any notifications that there was gonna be some changes and things going on. But yeah, so nonetheless, a lot of things going on, man. U.S. troops on the ground in Mexico, ready to invade. He's already threatened to bomb them. You got ICE agents, rogue ICE agents, man, going wild, shooting women, ramming cars, and they're hiding behind the thing saying that any protester is considered a domestic terrorist, and they're getting carte blanche to do whatever they want to our people in the name of trying to establish proper immigration laws here in America, man. They're trying to stop all the dirty, stinking brown criminals running around here. That's what they're claiming, right? Meanwhile, they say 97% of the detainees in Chicago have no criminal record. None. 97% got no criminal record. But I thought they were supposed to be going after the criminal element of the so-called illegal migrants. Clearly that's not going on. I digress, though. The bigger fish to fry, right? Let's get to let me preface this first, man, because there's a lot going on within our nation, as usual. And it's seasonal. I always talk about it. It's seasonal times. I made mention regarding the time of the harvest and the ingathering and the pruning that goes on within the farming world, right? And when you're pruning, you're getting rid of. Matter of fact, let me see something. Matter of fact, let me see something real quick. Before we go there, am I sharing? No, Slacky, y'all. Make sure I'm sharing. Again, if you're not seeing this correctly in the right angle, do me and yourself a favor by going to the correct horizontal stream. You should see it on the MOTC channel. They got 2 different streams going. Apologies for those who kind of lost and trying to figure out what's going on, can't see things right. Just do that and you'll be able to see it all right. Let's look at this again real quick. So what I made mention of, it's pruning season as well. When we have the Feast of Ingathering, which is also considered within the season of Tabernacles, Atonement, blowing of the trumpets, that 7th month, which is also a month with the number 7 being completion. This is when things start to become more complete, more whole, more understood, more revealed, right? And we're going through that season right now, and there's a lot of turmoil, a lot of things, a lot of confusion, a lot of rebuking, reproving going on within Israel, man. A lot of targeting going on, confusion. Some of our people is out here, really questioning and wondering what's going on. You understand what I'm saying? But that's just what it is. But remember, I said this is pruning season as well. What is pruning when it comes down to agriculture? Pruning is a selective removal of certain parts of a plant. Now, notice in the scriptures, let's look at John real quick. John 15, right? 15:1. Remember who's the root and the offspring of David, as it says in Revelation 22 about Yahweh Shai. He's the root, he's the vine. We're branches of him, right? So look at this, John 15:1. I am the true vine, and my Father is the husbandman. Every branch in me that beareth not fruit, he taketh away, and every branch that beareth fruit, he purgeth it, that it may bring forth more fruit. What happens when a purging happens? It's called pruning. And that's what happens within the root. That's what happens within the branches of Christ. That's what happens within the offspring and the growings that happen within our nation. This is what time it is. Okay. So do not fret, Israel. Don't be sitting back saying, I'm so disappointed in our nation. We out here looking crazy and we're listen, it's supposed to go down that way. It's not new. This is always going on in the spirit. Maybe some of your favorite teachers or some of your favorite Israelite camps, groups, whatever, may be the subject of conversation, maybe in the mix, in the pot a little bit. If you stand back, you observe, you're going to realize, you're going to say, okay, it's going to be all right. It's going to be all right, but things need to be revealed so that things can get chopped down, removed. Pruning is a select removal of certain parts of a plant, such as branches, buds, or roots. See, notice it says removal. That means that some people got to go. Some doctrines got to go. Some information got to go. Some spirits that's inhabiting on it got to go. It's practiced in horticulture, especially fruit tree pruning. Didn't the Most High call us the first fruits? Okay. Arboriculture and silviculture. The practice entails the targeted removal of diseased, Yeah, there's some diseased spirits within our nation. You best believe that need to be exercised, right? Diseased, damaged, dead, non-productive, structurally unsound, or otherwise unwanted plant material from crop and landscape plants, all right? In general, the smaller the branch that is cut, the easier it is for a woody plant to compartmentalize the wound and thus limit the potential for pathogen intrusion and decay. So some things need to be identified and chopped out so that it doesn't ruin the rest of the plant anymore. It is therefore preferable to make any necessary formative structural pruning cuts to young plants rather than removing large, poorly placed branches from mature plants. So, who's typically victimized or affected the most when this goes down? The young, the newly rooted trees and plants that's coming into this truth, really trying to understand and learn the law, statutes, and commandments, trying to learn and understand the quote unquote breakdowns and get further knowledge and wisdom and understanding. But the mature plants, we stick through this because we've seen it before. We know things got to get chopped, things got to get removed, things got to get understood, things got to get identified, but we have to always remember that there's things surrounding around us in this world and it's spiritual that's coming at our people and our nation because of how close we are to regaining our true form as righteous men and women of the Lord, right? So, John 4:23, but the hour cometh, and when? Now is when the true worshipers shall worship the Father in spirit and in truth. Why is Yahweh qualifying true worshipers? Obviously, there's going to be some untrue worshipers. There's going to be some who are not truly in the faith for the right reasons, moving in the spirit of Yahweh. So we said that there's going to be some who's not going to keep it real. Some is not going to be 100 in this thing. No matter how cold a garment they got, how well they speak the Hebrew, how long their beard is, how long their dress is, how well they wear a head wrap. The Lord said, look, son, there's going to be some who just aren't going to be true. And they'll be identified sooner or later. Our job and our objective is prayerfully that we're not one of them. For whatever reason it may be it sin, iniquity, doctrine, Whatever the case may be, we don't want to fall victim to those things because listen, it said the hour cometh now is when the true worshipers shall worship the Father in spirit and in truth. For the Father seeketh such to worship him. That's who the Most High is looking for. He's looking for true worshipers. Remember, Yahweh said, "Ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall what? Make you free." Not set you, gonna make you free. You're gonna be liberated from the lies. You're gonna be liberated from the bondage of sin and unrighteousness. One thing we got to know too is the evolution of the seals. You know, me and the brothers was talking about this last weekend. When we're going into end time prophecies and we're trying to understand and see, you know, about the seven seals. Well, the first one that we have to identify that's been opened is in Revelation 6:1-2. And here we go. And I saw when the Lamb opened one of the seals, and I heard, as it were, the noise of thunder, one of the four beasts saying, "Come and see." We know the Lamb is Christ. The four beasts now are saying, "Come and see." They're in the third heaven. And what are they saying? Come and see. And he said, I saw, and behold, a white horse, and he that sat on him had a bow, and a crown was given unto him, and he went forth conquering and to conquer. Now, one thing people will say is, this is Yahweh Shai, Revelation 19. Well, that is sort of true. It is speaking about Yahweh Shai, but not necessarily according to Revelation 19, because Revelation 19 acknowledges that he's going to, let's read it real quick, Revelation 19. Revelation 19, let's read verse 11. And I saw heaven open, and behold, a white horse, and he that sat upon him was called Faithful and True, and in righteousness he doth judge and make war. So here's the key. It says that when Yahweh Shai is appearing on this particular white horse, he's going to come in righteousness to judge and make war. His eyes were as a flame of fire, and on his head were many crowns, and he had a name written that no man knew but he himself. So he's coming in a fashion to judge, make war, and he's going to collect the crowns of all the wicked kings and the kingdoms that have been ruling this earth. Remember, the beast had 10 heads and seven crowns. Those crowns are going to be taken down. All of the kingdoms and dominions that have been ruled by the so-called white man. Remember, even in Revelation 17, it says all the 10 heads had a certain dispensation of time of rule, but no kingdom. Let me get that real quick. And here it goes. Verse 12. And the 10 horns, I said 10 heads, 10 horns, Salaki. And the 10 horns which thou sawest are 10 kings, which have received no kingdom as of yet, but received power as kings 1 hour with the beast. So, long story short, Yahweh Shai is going to come and conquer and take down these kings. These are the crowns that he's going to collect. Okay. Now, going back to Revelation 6, why do I say it's not speaking about Yahweh Shai in this particular instance? Because if this is the first seal, and this means that Christ has already came and conquered and taken all the crowns. Why are we going through the second seal, third seal, fourth seal? Unless somebody has a breakdown that says they don't happen in a particular order, which is going to be hard to hold fast to sound doctrine. This here is talking about Christ, right? But what is it talking about? It's talking about the doctrine of Christ. It's talking about the belief of Christ. We're talking about even historically with the Crusades and the warfare that went on with the pushing of the doctrine of the Bible and Christianity in its righteous form at the time. You know, when it tells you in Acts that the apostles were first called Christians at Antioch in Acts 11, I believe it is. This is the time that it's talking about, because look, when you go getting into Revelation 24, so the first seal, excuse Revelation 24, Matthew 24, the first seal is the unveiling of the doctrine of Christ, the repentance, the teaching of the law, statutes, and commandments. right? When Christ said, "Repent ye, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand." When the apostles received the Holy Spirit in Acts 1, and that said, and then later on it said that the apostles were first called Christians at Antioch. That's the beginnings of the opening up of that seal, and it's continued to stay open throughout this time, even up until now. The true doctrine of Christ. Now we're hearing about the diaspora. We're learning about who we are. We're understanding and knowing He's the rock. Um, we're understanding and knowing about our necessities of repenting through Him. All of those things now are part of that opening of that seal, right? So now, if we're getting to it, it's going to let it be known. Matthew 24:3 it says, "And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, Tell us, when shall these things be, and what shall be the sign of thy coming and the end of the world? And Yahushua answered and said unto them, Take heed that no man deceive you." So why or how is it going to happen? Because it said that that first seal has got to be open. That white horse, which represents Christ, the true doctrine of Christ, is going to have to go through and conquer. It's going to have to go through and be assertive in nature, aggressively be forced upon the earth. The Bible had to be established. So it went through blood. It went through warfare, all the way up through the Dark Ages, through the Crusades, continuing on all the way over here. How many of our people died for the Bible during the time of the Maccabees? You hear about the children being snatched from the mothers, and babies get the head slapped up against the rocks, right? Maccabees going through. I mean, this is pre-Christ, but we're just talking about the seals being opened up when all of the blood and the conquering had to go through for the Bible to come forth. So the preservation of the word and the true doctrines of teaching of quote unquote true Christianity, or the true doctrine of Christ, is that first seal being opened up. The establishment of truth through the Bible is the first thing. And it went through conquering and to conquer. This is the same reason why the men of Israel, the Israelites, the Hebrew Israelites, are out there battling doctrine after doctrine, religion after religion, nation after nation, utilizing what? The word of the Lord. Now, it says, Take no heed that no man deceive you, for many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ, and shall deceive many. So yeah, that's what ends up happening. Many are coming via the doctrine saying, I'm Christ, whether it comes through all the various denominations, whether it came through the doctrine of, the doctrine of discovery, the papal bulls that were written by the Catholic Church, and they was coming over, conquering nations and taking over the indigenous nations and slaughtering the infidels, anybody that didn't want to bow down to the Catholic Church and the cross and everything else, leading all the way up until now. How many of our people are being seduced by all the wicked denominational religions? Jehovah Wickedness. You got Seventh-day Disadvantages. You got Christians, Catholics, Mormons. You got Islam. You got, they don't come in the name of Christ, but you've got various different doctrines. Y'all get the point. Even within the Israelite circle, even within our nation, many all say, I'm bearing Christ, I'm Christ, this, that, and the third. Well, we got the Holy Spirit over here. Look at our numbers. We got the Holy Spirit over here. Look at our breakdowns. And meanwhile, there are many going to and fro and could be getting deceived and could be getting led astray during these particular times. And what else is going to happen? And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. This is going into the next seal when we're talking about that red horse. We talked about it before. That's going to take peace from the earth, right? And even the wars and rumors of wars, because remember, even in Revelation 6, it said he's going to go forth to conquer and to conquer. See? So this is the time that we're in right now, where we're seeing the seal has been opened up. Doctrines are flying left and right. Warfare is being engaged. You're hearing about persecutions of the righteous, even up until now. This is why we have to we have to be vigilant and really understand and know what's going on right now. We see it in the spirit, man, even within Israel, man. There's conquering in the conquer. There's infighting going on, doctrinal sword swinging right now, trying to determine who's really following Christ, who's not following Christ, who's doing it, who's not. Let me tell you something, man. This is This is a word of caution. Word of caution. Let me share this with y'all real quick, and let's let me preface it with this. Very interesting time that we're in right now. And I say this all the time, internally, brothers will let you know. Romans 15:4. For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning, that we through patience and comfort of the scriptures might have hope. This is why I made mention, for those of you who saw the DSTM episode that I did for New Moon Wednesday evening. If you didn't check it out, feel free to go back, check it out. You might have not got notified, or maybe, just didn't have time to check it out. Maybe you might have to play catch up or whatever. But this is why I made mention in this past DSTM regarding damn, I just lost my train of thought. Man, most I wouldn't come back to me. I just lost my train of thought. But anyway, this is one thing that we got to reflect on. The scripture said, man, the things that were written aforetime were written for our learning, that we may, through patience and hope of the scriptures might have hope. Knowing what happened in the past. This was all praise to the Most High while I was shy. I was making mention of I believe Matthew 6 chapter, when it says, if the eye be see, there I go. I just drew a blank again. In Matthew 6, let me just get it instead of trying to remember it. Matthew 6, and yeah, here we go. Let's read 21, and we'll read down to 23. For where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. So whatever you value, that's where your mind is going to be at. How much do you really value your salvation? How much do you really value pleasing the Most High, fearing Him, doing His commandments? How much do you really fear and value your brother or your sister, in this faith? How much do you really value your family, your household, your own life, right? Because whatever things that you hold as treasure, valuable, that's where your mind is going to be at. If you're concerned about views, money, if you're concerned about personal image, if you're concerned about what everybody else is talking about and you not included, and you want to be in on the T2, so you want to certain yourself, like, these are the things that the Most High says, okay, you that's what you want? Okay, you're going to get all of that and some. But if we're focused in and we're understanding and knowing what we're really supposed to be keying in on, we won't be distracted. We won't get caught up in the mix. Here's verse 22. It says, the light of the body is the eye. If therefore thine eye be single, thy whole body shall be full of light. That's the objective. You know how them horses, they've got the blinders on, and all they can see is straight forward when they racing. Remember, we're in a race. You got to have complete focus. I can't really be too concerned with what's going on to the right or what's going on to the left, because guess what? I may get lost. I might run into something. I might not see that ditch that's right in front of me, stumble, fall, break my leg, and I might be out the race. Because Lord knows there's plenty going on to the right and to the left and can get us distracted and get us all caught up. And before you know it, we've lost focus on that light. As the old saying goes, we're going every which way but loose, right? But if we're keying in on with a laser beam focus, if our eye being single, we've got a sole focus. The old Vietnam vet said, you have a 1,000-yard stare. If you've got that, then you're going to manifest the light of Yahweh and the laws and the commandments. But verse 23 says, but if thy eye be evil, thy whole body shall be full of darkness. If therefore the light that is in thee be darkness, how great is that darkness? That's like you in a completely dark warehouse and you light a match. The darkness is definitely going to overtake that match. You might have a little light around you, but as you continue walking and that match is burning out slowly but surely, before you know it, your flame is taken out and you're going to be engulfed in darkness. That's if you got an eye of evil. If you got intentional evil and unrighteousness and wickedness within you, man, and that's what you want. The Lord said, if that's where your eyes at, that's what your focus at, you're going to be fully consumed with. We're going to be. I don't like to single out nobody. We're going to be fully consumed with darkness. So we got to make sure that our light is completely laser focused and block out the noise sometimes. Sometimes you got to address the noise if it's of necessity. But a lot of times, especially in particular when the climate was going on within Israel, I mean, there's more than enough mouths that's speaking to said, controversies. At this point, I'd be beating a dead horse if I had to add on and keep. So sometimes, I'd be trying to just stay focused. That's all I can tell you. Staying focused, right? Because I'm gonna share something with y'all in a minute. Look at this. This is why I say stay focused, right? Remember, even 1 Peter 5:8 is one of my favorite scriptures. 1 Peter 5:8 is one of my favorite scriptures regarding being sober, be vigilant, for your adversary, the devil, walking about like a roaring lion, seeking whom he may devour. Right? Satan is always moving, man. He's always plotting, planning, setting up stumbling blocks, pitfalls, traps, seductions, you name it. Accusatory, spirits against you. You're in a real battle. We're in a real battle here. So look at this. Question I put in here for AI. It says the Jews infighting before the Romans conquered them. Before the Romans conquered Jerusalem, infighting among Jewish factions significantly weakened their resistance. The things that were done aforetime were done for our learning, lest our people, and in particular within the Israelite community, does not learn from the past. I don't give a damn how much is Jay talking about the mark of the beast and FEMA camp. Your ass is going to the damn camps. Because the same mouths be the ones doing all of this infighting and weakening the resistance, man. What they say. United we stand, divided we fall. Yeah, there's some doctrinal things, man. I can't stand next to certain brothers that teach particular things. But guess what? If I see that brother getting his ass whipped out there on the street, I'm gonna go help him. You understand what I'm saying? Like, that's what it is. May not get along with everybody, whatever. But when it's all said and done, we all we got. So be it far from me to be part of weakening the resistance. I'm trying to stay and be a pillar in the resistance and resisting the urge and the temptation to join in on the infighting, because that seems like the thing to do. Seems like the right thing that we should be we should all be riding out and talking about them Jakes and these brothers and with it. No, we don't all. Some of us got to hold the fort down. So what happened before the Romans conquered Jerusalem? Infighting amongst Jewish factions. I don't like that word, but Israelite factions significantly weakened their resistance. Rival groups, such as the Sicarii and other nationalist parties, fought for power, which led to internal strife and ultimately contributed to the city's fall in 70 CE. Jewish infighting before the Roman conquest. The period leading up to the Roman conquest of Jerusalem in 70 CE was marked by significant internal strife among the Israelite population. This infighting was fueled by various factions competing for power. Oh, sound familiar? And what? Differing ideologies. Sound familiar? And they say we not the Jews. They say we're not the Israelites, man. Blacks, Native Americans, Hispanics, man, you're not the people of the Lord. Even though our spirits are still manifesting and reliving the same things our forefathers was doing damn near 1900 years ago. We're doing the same things, right? And just identifying some of the factors. I mean, you had the Ebionites, you had the Sicarii, you had the Zealots, you had the Pharisees, you had the Sadducees, you had the Essenes. You got people talking about these camps. Listen, man, we've been had camps and we've had sex without, not sex, SECTS, sex within our nation. Very different doctrinal teachings, man. Everybody had particular, and there were struggles and fights for power within the groups. How and where we was going to lead the people, who had sound doctrine, who was doing things right? Here you go. The internal division significantly weakened the Jewish resistance during the Roman siege. Rival factions fought among themselves, which depleted resources and morale. This disunity ultimately contributed to the fall of Jerusalem and the destruction of the Second Temple, marking a pivotal moment in Jewish history. The aftermath led to a transformation in Jewish religious practices and the rise of rabbinic Judaism. Right? So, there you have it. And here's a book to reference: Conquering of Jerusalem, the AD 66-70 Roman campaign to crush the Jewish revolt. Now, if we're not reliving this right now, this should let you know how much closer our enemies are to laying the gauntlet down full-fledged, and persecution of Israel is going to take place. Right now, Israel is on wobbly legs, man, spaghetti legs, man, Bambi, newborn Bambi. You dig what I'm saying? Like, some is out here wobbling a little bit. The nation is a little bit off key now. And much of it has to do with infighting. Much of it has to do with pride, ego, filthy lucre, all kind of things. It's got our people, looking kind of crazy out there. But some of us are holding firm. A lot of men and women are being great examples and doing what they're supposed to be doing. And again, as I say, blocking out the noise and handling their business and making sure that there's firm foundations of representation here. And as the old saying goes, this too shall pass. Remember, it's just pruning. But while that's going on, we got to make sure we're staying focused. Now it says, yea, in the way of thy judgment, Shalaki. This is Isaiah 26. We're going to read 8-9. Yea, in the way of thy judgments, O Yahweh, have we waited for thee. The desire of our soul is to thy name and to the remembrance of thee. With my soul have I desired thee in the night. Yea, with my spirit within me will I seek thee early. For when thy judgments are in the earth, the inhabitants of the world will learn righteousness. So we're seeing the judgments of the Most High befalling the earth at a rapid succession. And guess what? Our people are learning righteousness. Right? But remember, what does it say? We're waiting for Yahweh to make sure that our deliverance in our kingdom is coming. The desire of our soul is to thy name and to the remembrance of thee. So you want to know what we should be doing, need to be doing? That's it right there. Staying focused on the Most High. St. John 16:31. One of the brothers, Bayan, just brought this out earlier with me and a few other brothers. John 16:31 down. Yahweh Shai answered them, do ye now believe? Behold, the hour cometh, yea, and now, Shalaki, yea, is now come, that ye shall be scattered, every man to his own, and shall leave me alone, and yet I am not alone, because the Father is with me. So anytime you're feeling isolated, Yahweh Shai said, you're going to be in positions where you feel alone, where you feel like you're on an island. And even after Yahweh Shai got persecuted, he let it be known, there's going to be a diaspora, there's going to be a scattering. 70 AD is going to come, just like we read earlier. The destruction of the Second Temple, the scattering of the Jews, us being sold as slaves and being brought into Africa, all the history going into Spain, Portugal, Europe, through our scatterings. A vast majority of the northern kingdom was already scattered over here. But we're never alone. We always are the Most High to lean upon. So as times get more trying, times get more afflictive, these are things that we have to take to heart, because this is how we're going to be confirmed when it's all said and done. Verse 33, these things I have spoken unto you, that in me ye might have peace. In the world ye shall have tribulation. Let's not forget that. When this world, tribulation comes along with it. You know? But what? Be of good cheer. I have overcome the world. And that's our job. Most I say we're more than conquerors. If Yahweh said he's overcame the world, he's given us the spirit and the intuition to know that we can do it just as well. But we got to go through the processes. We got to go through the affliction. We got to go through the frustration. We got to go through, running like a hamster. And I just told the brother the other day in the new, I said, man, we was talking about, the Gentile salvation situation, all the other stuff. And I was like, look, bro, I refuse to be a hamster in the wheel, man, chasing after the same old things, and never get nowhere, right? And that's exactly what ends up happening. And maybe that's just, the older man in me now, having been in this for a while now. Some things you've seen this movie before, and it's kind of like, man, I don't really feel like seeing it for a third time. I'm gonna skip this show. You know how that goes? When you see a good movie and you're like, yeah, man, I've seen that twice. And you're like, well, you want to see it again? I haven't seen it yet. Man, twice is enough, man. I'm not going to see it the third time. You go see it, man. Let me know what you think about it. There's only a few movies, man, that I watched like over, multiple times. But even the good ones, they got to be spaced out over time. Can't keep watching the repeat, every other week. So Acts 14:22 says, confirming the souls of the disciples and exhorting them to continue in the faith. That's what we got to do. How do we get confirmation of souls? Exhorting them to continue in the faith, and that we must, through much tribulation, not a little bit, not some, much tribulation, enter into the kingdom of the Most High. Now that's interesting, because like I said, I'm not gonna beat the wheels about the Gentile thing, but I mean, if they getting in without much tribulation, that goes against what Paul says. But anyway, we've been set up to go through much tribulation, and we're going to get to this kingdom, man. It's not going to be easy. So we gotta, keep our eyes on the prize. No one understands. Satan is constantly lurking and moving around, man. He's in this chat right now. He's in your dreams. He's in your daily thoughts. He's in your wife. He's in your husband. He's in your kids. He's at your with your boss. He's with your bothering your neighbor, in your neighbor's ear. The driver that almost hit you the other day, try to upset you, get a little road rage jumping. It's all over the place. Person that gave you a ticket is all based around trying to get you frustrated and frustrate the grace of Yahweh Shai, trying to get you to be accusatory, trying to get him to point a finger and say, look, she broke. Look, Father, he broke. Look at him. That's it. Can I tear him down all the way now? And the Most High may do like Job said, nah, you can't take him down. Take her down. Let it go. I got more in store for him. They're gonna he and she's gonna prove me right when it's all said and done. Try your best, Satan, but guess what? We're gonna keep getting up. Wisdom of Solomon 16:6. Uziel brought this one out as well. But they were troubled for a small season, that they might be admonished. So who's this? The children of Israel, right? We was in the wilderness. We got trouble for a small season. You say 40 years, small? Yeah. Imagine how long you've been in the truth. And let's just say this is the spiritual wilderness right now. You just came into this 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 5 years ago. Imagine you got another 35 years. And you said, I can't take it. We got to be at the end. Most I said that's a small season. I've been in this damn near more than 3 decades, a little more than 3 decades. I ain't even made 40 years in the wilderness yet. So listen, our complaining got to be a bare minimum. Learning to live with contentment. I believe Alada did a lesson on that a couple weeks back, I believe, about learning to be content. I think he did. If it wasn't, maybe it's Rasha. I'm could have sworn we did a lesson on that. But nonetheless, it says, but they were troubled for a small season, that they might be admonished, having a sign of salvation to put them in remembrance of what? The commandment of thy law. So shame on the Christians saying that the laws are done away with. Anybody that's going against having a moral, civil, dietary standard that they need to be living by. It says we're supposed to be putting to remembrance the commandment of the law. Not forgetting about it, not disannulling it, not saying that we can't keep it, not saying that it's only 2. You understand? No. That's what we put to remembrance, okay? So, with that short little moment that I gave to y'all, man, let's see what's happening in the world, all right? All praise to the Most High. Now, you see your man Agent Orange. We've seen this play out before. Didn't we see Marco Rubio say this 6 months ago? If Ukraine doesn't listen to us, we're going to pull away aid. And they've not done so. They just got to talk about giving them Tomahawk missiles 2 months ago. Now they're flipping again. You know, Agent Orange, man, that white powder man over there in the White House, man, must be some cold stuff, man, because he's all over the place, man. Complete meltdown, flip-flop all day long. What they say, Trump always, I can't never get that taco analogy right. Trump always, what is it? Rashad, if you in here, man, let me know. Right? Trump always caves in. No. Cowards out? What the hell is taco? I can't remember that damn thing. But y'all know what it is. If you know what I'm talking about, what is the taco? Trump always chickens out. That's it. Trump always chickens out. Okay, so we've seen this movie before. The U.S. is pushing Ukraine to sign a peace deal by Thanksgiving or lose support. So they've been laying down this little fake gauntlet for a long time, right? Now he's saying by next week they got to sign a peace deal or else. Now there ain't no way that they're going to sign this peace deal because they've got to give up significant land. They have to reduce their military down to 600,000. The deal for them to ever being able to join NATO is off the table. What else? Plus, the biggest thing is NATO does not want this war to end, and they don't want the U.S. to stop supporting Ukraine. NATO alone is going to have to say, well, guess what? If the U.S. backs out, then we're either going to have to ramp up our support for Ukraine, either financially, which NATO doesn't necessarily have the funds to continue on a long-standing war with Russia. Brother just sent me an article earlier saying Russia's cashing in their gold to finance their war. Something that they haven't done in years or ever. So Russia's getting ready to ramp up and get their armaments together. NATO has always been relying upon the U.S. of supporting and spending the most money on the war, and they chip in they little bit. So there's only going to be 2 options, man. Either they're going to completely bow down and say, okay, forget it. This little proxy war that we was using Ukraine to get at Russia didn't work out. We're going to just go ahead, lick our wounds, count our losses, and get up out of there. Or they're going to say, F America, we're going to go ahead and jump in and we're going to help Ukraine full-fledged. So then it's going to be NATO and Ukraine fighting against Russia. And that's going to ignite, World War III. So pick your poison. Or Trump always chickens out in taco fashion. He's going to back down and going to say, I'm going to give you an extension. I'm going to give you another 90 days, 60 days to, get this peace deal going. Because you know what's going to happen next week. Oh, Trump is meeting with Zelensky on the phone and a possible peace deal. And then they're going to come back and say, oh, Trump has conceded and is going to give him extra time to work out a peace deal. Zelensky's willing to talk more, but wants such and such concessions. You know how that stuff goes, man. There's always going to be some BS. So, look, the White House is pressing Ukraine to sign on to its new peace proposal by Thanksgiving to lose U.S. support to the country, according to two officials familiar with the talks. Speaking on a condition of anonymity to describe sensitive diplomatic discussions. Look down here. It says the plan, which has been leaked in the press and confirmed by several officials, included several red lines for Ukraine, including a massive reduction of its army size and ceding territory to Russia that has not yet conquered militarily. So they got to give up land that Russia hasn't even established or won yet. They got to reduce their military. Any hopes of joining NATO is out the door. There's no win for them at all. So NATO's going to say that's not fair. Zelensky's going to cry to NATO and the rest of Europe and anybody who will listen and say that's not fair. You're basically telling us wave the white flag and you're going to empower Russia. Let's see how far that goes. Moving on. Breaking news. U.S. issues a terrifying NOTAM airspace warning as B-52 nuclear bomber conducts a attack demo as Venezuela crisis spiral. So Trump is launching, went and put out a B-52 nuclear bomber for an attack demo. They've already ran a war game with the conquering of Venezuela and taking Maduro out. And they said, all the computer models said, if they take Maduro out, Venezuela is going to crash into complete civil war and chaos. There's going to be outside guerrilla forces trying to take over. There's going to be internal struggles governmentally to who's going to lead. America obviously is going to be trying to institute their own little puppet governments. Chaos is going to ensue. Venezuela is over with, in other words, if this war goes down and they take out Maduro. So now they're running attack demos, man, with sending out nuclear bombers threatening Venezuela. So the United States has issued a terrifying new warning for the airspace around Venezuela as Donald Trump dispatched a B-52 nuclear bomber for a, quote, attack demo. The Federal Aviation Authority sent out a notice to air missions at 1:08 p.m., alerting pilots, airlines, and air traffic controllers of a, quote, potentially hazardous situation in and around Venezuela. So they put out a attack demo, putting everybody on notice. When you get them notices on your phone and let you know something might be going down, an Amber Alert or something, they did that. Telling the pilots, airlines, air traffic controllers that a dangerous situation is getting ready to happen. A B-52 nuke bomb is on the way, and making them scramble and run a drill on how they're going to react. See this? Just hours later, the Air Force announced the last night a B-52 along with a KC-135 stratotanker and fighter jets conducted a bomber attack demo in the Southern Command area of operations set up to deter illegal drug runners from Venezuela. So, this is supposed to be about drug runners, but he's over it threatening to bomb the whole country. We know what this is about. We talked about this ad nauseum. But he's stepping it up. Look at this. Donald Trump threatens to bomb Mexico and Colombia and says, I'd be proud. So again, we're seeing him declaring war on our brothers and sisters of the Southern Kingdom, man. Whether the leadership is Spaniards or not, doesn't matter. The victims are going to be the indigenous population that's over there, man. Our people, the 10 tribes. The descendants of the Aztec and the Mayas, the Inca. Trump made the comments during the press conference as he hosted a meeting with the FIFA president Gianni Infantino and the White House task force on the 2026 World Cup at the Oval Office. President Trump hinted at being open to sending military strikes to Mexico and Colombia in order to stop drugs on Monday, sending chills across the region. Again, if he knows that the fentanyl is coming from China, why is he not threatening to bomb China? Everybody knows, he knows it. He's been on record saying he wants China to stop sending the fentanyl over here. But he's not bombing them. Why? He knows what time it is. Plus the backdoor deals that China's got over here, from the land ownership to buying up of U.S. debt. Plus he don't want to smoke with China because, they got the nukes, they got the relationships with Russia, Iran, and the rest of the BRICS nations. There's limitations on what he's willing to do. So why not pick on the so-called brown Venezuelans and the Colombians and the Mexicans and bomb on them and say that's where all the drugs are coming from? And we know it ain't about drugs. Here we go. U.S. troops invade. That wasn't clickbait that I put on the title. No, here's the title right here. U.S. troops invade Mexico. A dramatic escalation of tensions as Pentagon scrambles to contain the fallout. So, when we just got to reading about wars, rumors of wars, and remember we read, what was it, last week? Revelation 6, 3 and 4, about the second seal being broken, about the red horse coming through to conquer and to take peace from the earth. He's continuing to do that. Yahweh said wars and rumors of wars happening. Now he's already invaded Mexico. It's not, this is what we're seeing going. And now remember, he said he's coming from Venezuela. Colombia, he just mentioned. Nigeria, he's mentioned. The only nation down in South America that's been in a crisis that he's helped is Argentina. And Argentina is damn near 90+% white. With Spaniards, Germans, small hat GMO frauds is down there. Who else is down there? There's a lot of Edomites down there. That's a fact. Bailed them out, gave them money, helping them out. But the rest of the struggling South American, Central American countries, man, he's got nothing but warfare for them. And they go out and exploit the resources and wants to take them over. Salaki. So here we go. American troops are pulled up on a Mexican beach in dramatic escalation of tensions after Donald Trump threatened to bomb the country. U.S. contractors arrived by boat on Monday at Playa Baghdad, driving signs into the sand near where the Rio Grande empties into the Gulf of Mexico. Alarmed witnesses quickly alerted officials, and heavily armed Mexican security personnel rushed to the scene on trucks mounted with machine guns in a terrifying standoff. It was that close. The Pentagon is in a deeply embarrassing statement, admitted that its troops were mistaken when they landed on the beach. Oh, it was a mistake, huh? I guess that's the same thing that happened over there in Vietnam in the Gulf of Tonkin. It was a mistake that ended up with a U.S. ship fleeing bullets after they went and infiltrated and broke the borders of where they're supposed to be able to spy and listen in and all the other stuff, man, then lied about it and got themselves engaged in a war in Vietnam, doing the same thing, overstepping boundaries, spying, doing some stuff they ain't had no business doing. Then when the Mexican officials and the military show up, it's like, we made a mistake over here on the beach. Sorry, we'll go ahead and get out. We'll back up. The Mexican personnel watched as the Americans drove 6 signs into the ground which said "Warning: Restricted Area." So there he goes again, trying to take over lands that's not his. Look, that's the law. Let's get that in Deuteronomy 19. And then you wonder why, America needs to be judged and what's happening here. He continually breaks the laws of the Most High. Deuteronomy 19:14, thou shalt not remove thy neighbor's landmark, which they of old time have set in thine inheritance, which thou shalt inherit in the land of the Lord Yahweh thy power, giveth thee to possess it. So the laws of inheritance was as such. If you was given a particular lot of land, you had landmarks that marked off your particular land. Similar to any place else. You got an acre of land, you got landmarks that you line up and you say, this is my land. You could not take that landmark and move it over to your side to extend your land or to minimize your brother's land. That was against the law. Now you see America over here creeping over across the Rio Grande, riding up on the beach saying this is a restricted area, extending and removing landmarks. And they're like, what are you doing? Establishing these borders that they've been lining up. I mean, everybody knows Mexico, California, Texas, this was all one land at one particular point in time. Before warfare and before these purchasings of lands and these old land grab deals that they was doing with the Louisiana Purchase and everything else. I mean, this is how he is established and taking over these particular lands, bloodshed, warfare, and lies. But he's breaking the laws of the Most High in the meanwhile by removing landmarks. Proverbs 22. Oops. And 22:28. Remove not the ancient landmark which thy fathers have set. So once things are set in motion, once you have a landmark, once you have an established inheritance, we're not supposed to sell. We're not supposed to reduce it. You can't take it over. It's supposed to be a perpetual inheritance for families. That's generational. Is what the term they call generational wealth. That was supposed to continue on through our family. We wasn't supposed to have it reduced, so you couldn't go over there and swindle somebody and take it from them. Or to remove it and say, I ain't seen nobody here in years. I'm going to go ahead and take it. No, you couldn't do that. Couldn't do that. You had to leave it. Job 24:1-2, it says, why seeing times are not hidden from the Almighty? Do they not know him that see his days? Some remove the landmarks. They violently take away flocks and feed thereof. They drive away the ass of the fatherless. They take the widow's ox for a pledge. They turn the needy out of the way. The poor of the earth hide themselves together. This is what they do. They remove landmarks. They violently take away the flocks, and they feed thereof. What's the flock? The flocks are the food, the income. The flocks are the things that help generate. Even when you got the manure that helps build up more for your gardens and for your trees and your fruits and your herbs and whatnot. This is all things that help generate income, that help sustain your land. And what do? They take all those things and they feed off of it. They profiteer off of it. They take it. How do they do it? Violently. So when we see these particular things going on in Mexico, Venezuela, Colombia, so forth and so on, man, we see what's going on. He's got a history of this. So he's invaded Mexico now. Now look at this. This is why we know, man, America is in trouble. Seditious behavior, punishable by death. Who's he talking about? He's talking about his Demo-Crip opponents.
Happy thought that you want to share with the world.
Get more coffee.
That's a happy thought. No, I can't tell you.
President Trump facing outrage from Democrats tonight after demanding the arrest of a half-dozen Democratic lawmakers, suggesting they be executed for posting this video.
We want to speak directly to members of the military.
Where 6 Democrats, all with national security backgrounds, urge members of the military to disobey any illegal orders from President Trump.
No one has to carry out orders that violate the law or our Constitution.
Referring to the video, President Trump writing, seditious behavior from traitors, lock them up, and seditious behavior punishable by death. Later reposting a comment in which someone wrote, quote, hang them, George Washington would. Democrats condemning the comments, calling for extra security for the members involved.
This is perhaps the most reckless, irresponsible thing that he has done all Congress, and it's going to get a lot of us killed. We have kids.
The president want to execute members of Congress? No.
The White House firing back.
Now, remember, the scriptures say that a kingdom divided against itself can't stand. I've never seen in my lifetime the Demo-Crips and Republicans warring like this publicly, and it being put out as such, where the press even has to ask, does the president want to unalive Democrats? And she has to say no. I mean, why are you asking that as a citizen? Why is this not? Am I not spelling Ezra's right? I mean, what is going on here? Maybe I wasn't. I don't know. But anyway, Second Ezra's told us this was going to be happening. Say that the word of the Lord ain't true. Second Ezra 15:15. For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. For there shall be sedition among men. What did he say? Seditious. This is seditious, punishable by death. That word is being used in context of what? Look at this. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. So this is the infighting that goes on amongst power elites, let alone the people, mob rule. You understand? They shall not regard kings nor princes. This is when you have all-out civil war. This is where you hear the Demo-Crips making their plea to the military, saying, we want the military, don't follow any illegal orders, man. Stand on our side. Don't listen to that guy. He's got you out there bugged out. Trump saying, you're committing sedition. You're trying to turn the military against me. They're biting back, going back and forth. Him and his, what's her name? Marjorie Taylor Greene. They've had public spats and feuds over his America First policy. She's saying, you're not America First. You've been doing things for all these other countries, all these other nations. You ain't been looking at us. When is the America First going to happen? You're talking about terrorists. You're talking about the economy. Nothing that he calls her a traitor. I mean, it's all kind of soap opera-like stuff going on within the political sphere. And now we're seeing him say, look, the Demo-Crips are committing sedition, and it's punishable by death. But Ezra's told us that first. That in these times, what time did he say up here? These are the times of prophecy. Verse 1, behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true. So, in like manner, sedition is already being thrown out there. You're seeing civil wars going on all the way in Sudan. Now it's rioting over here in America. It's going down over there in Syria. I mean, everywhere we're seeing the same type of spirit being let out. Okay?
Don't drink the coffee. Coffee keeps you awake.
Turns that video off and y'all can move on.
President Trump facing
outrage that active duty service members defy the chain of command. The president has given illegal orders.
The White House firing back.
They're suggesting, Nancy, that the president has given illegal orders, which he has not. And to suggest and encourage that active duty service members defy the chain of command is a very dangerous thing for sitting members of Congress to do. And they should be held accountable. And that's what the president wants to see.
And tonight, Michigan Democrat Alyssa Slotkin, who appears in the video, says she has received close to 1,000 threats and now has 24/7 security. Tom?
All right, Garrett, thank you. We thank you for watching. And remember,
there you go. Okay. Now, at the same time, you got Second Ezra, the 9th chapter, where it says that, you're going to see uproars of the people. Well, last week, you had thousands protesting crime, corruption down there in Mexico. Now, they made it seem like this is some big old civil war going I seen another report, man, from a 10 tribe brother who's down there reporting, who lives down there. He was like, don't fall for the hype. This ain't some big old revolution. Everybody's not running out here in the streets and trying to overthrow the government. He said there was demonstrations. People was out there. It was wild for like a weekend, but everybody's back to normal doing their thing. But they're fighting against, they're saying basically that the Mexican government isn't doing enough to stop the cartels over there in Mexico. The youth movement is rising up saying, man, we're tired of, crime and corruption going on, much at the hands of the cartels, and the government is being complacent with it. Now, you know who the president is. Yeah, Claudia Sheinbaum. She's a small hat. She's a GMO, AstroTurf mutant. She's not of the origins or the descendant of an Aztec, if you follow. She's one of them other people. So, in like manner, 2 Ezra 9, it says it's going to be earthquakes and uproars of the people. Here we go.
Gifts for the outdoors and the outdoorsy. Eddie Bauer.
Dear Acorns, I used to have this cloud hanging over my head about not investing. Did I wait too long?
The protesters turned out in their thousands, filling the streets of Mexico's capital, together demanding change
and much of this is on the heels of they shot and killed the mayor of Mexico City, and he was riding for change and to end in the corruption with the cartels and all the other stuff, but he got put to death raw day during a some sort of celebration. So that kind of lifted the hearts of the people. They was mad, and Claudia Sheinbaum, the president, she's like, look, we know the cartels are out of control, but this ain't the way to do it. Because every time a political figure tries to go up against a cartel, they end up getting smited or smoked. And along with journalists and everybody else, end up hanging off of bridges and all that. They like, look, they don't play, and we're not ready to get into full-fledged civil war with them. We got to be wise about how we do this. And the people in the youth was like, what? You're the military, you're the government. You should be able to ride out and handle your business. And she's like, no, it doesn't work that way. So they're not, cool with how things is being moving down there. But that's why Agent Orange, he's gonna, fuel and funnel these type of protests and say, well, you want me to get involved? Here's what it's gonna cost you. Free slave labor. We're gonna, build up some businesses down there. We're gonna take over this land. We're gonna, how Esau does it.
End to crime and corruption. For the most part, it was peaceful. But trouble flared at the National Palace, home to President Claudia Sheinbaum, as fences were torn down and riot police attacked as they shielded the building. 120 people were injured.
Didn't we just see this in Nepal, 2 months ago, 3 months ago? I mean, this is the spirit that's going on within the world, man. Everybody is upset. Everybody is stressing. Everybody is, tired of the evil and the wickedness. This is why the children of Israel is going to be welcomed rulers when it's all said and done. Let me get that in 2 Ezra 9 since we see it. Verse 3, we get right to the point. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. So this is all prophecy that we're witnessing, right? So uproars of the people, man, down there in Mexico.
Your connections to the past are waiting. Get Ancestry DNA for only $29.
Shopping for tires used to make me want to blow a gasket.
Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum accused the right-wing party
Tire Rack made it easy to find great tires at a great price. 2 years of free road hazard protection.
Look at that.
The protesters wore straw hats in solidarity with Carlos Manzo, a popular mayor shot dead earlier this month. He'd spoken out against the drug cartels that terrorize the country, but who often go unpunished. We are also exposed every day to the insecurity that exists.
Now remember a couple of years ago, man, how they were so happy they had a new female president. They were talking about how change was happening in Mexico and everything's going to be great now. We got a strong woman in the president and we're so happy to back her and blah, 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 blah. Look at them now. Now they back the press striking, rioting, want to get her up out of there. See, all that so-called progression and thinking that the feminism was going to be the key to unlocking the world's problems, it got even worse. They was just cheering and celebrating her when she got elected and was a new president a couple years ago, and now all of a sudden they got buyer's remorse.
In the country.
Same way these Edomites got buyer's remorse with Agent Orange up there right now.
Where someone can come along, kill you, and absolutely nothing happens, said this nurse.
Well, I'm gonna leave that leave that where it's at for a minute. I got a few more things we need to cover, but y'all can see what's happening, right? Look, an AI podcasting machine is churning out 3,000 episodes a week. I told y'all that AI was getting ready to try to take over YouTube, taking over the podcast game. A lot of these jakes out here, man, is out here struggling, trying to keep up with the Joneses and making their incomes via YouTube. And people are going to start grasping along with the beast and with the creature more than the creator, like it says in Romans. You know, our people's going to be locking in more with this beast that's got a mouth to speak now and everything else. And people are listening. So this lets you know it's part for the course. I know YouTube has become YouTube and all these other Instagram channels has become a side hustle source of income for people. People are going to get squeezed out of that because people now are being more keen to looking towards AI now. AI is turning out these nice animated videos and movies and podcasts and everything else. I showed y'all the video when they had AI. They had Caesar Borgia talking to the damn Easter Bunny. And they would start talking about, yeah, you know, I ain't got no beef with you. Yeah, I know you was supposed to have been resurrected on my day, but, you know, it was some crazy bull stuff, man. It had damn millions of views on that. I said it before and I say it again. Studies have shown that people's attention span is as short as a goldfish now. It's hard to keep people's attention, man. If you're not hard hitting in the first 6 minutes or whatever, man, they moving on. And here AI is churning them out, as they say, 3,000 episodes a week, constantly feeding the zombie that needs to be, you know, on a scroll, on a reel, on a podcast every minute. And as a human or as a content quote unquote creator, people constantly trying to come up with something to talk about, some news to speak on, and what's going on, and you know, trying to be funny or whatever. Eventually, look, you're gonna get lapped by AI because they constantly just keep dropping. Look at this. No industry is safe from artificial intelligence, not even podcasting. This isn't hyperbole. There are already at least 175,000 AI-generated podcast episodes on platforms like Spotify and Apple. I defy you to all the ads, damn near, at least on my YouTube feed, are all AI. Every ad, they constantly talking about juveniles getting violated, and you got a lawsuit. You got what else? All kind of damn goofy ads every minute. So the ads, the commercials is all AI. I mean, the content is AI. It says that's thanks to Inception Point AI, a startup with just 8 employees cranking out 3,000 episodes a week, covering everything from localized weather reports and pollen trackers to a detailed account of Charlie Kirk's assassination and its cultural impact to a biography series on Anna Wintour. Its podcasting network, Quiet Please, has generated 12 million lifetime episode downloads and amassed 400,000 subscribers. So yes, people are really listening to AI podcasts. Can you imagine, man? We are truly in the matrix. Bizarro world for real, man. People are choosing to listen to unalive, I mean, a soulless, soulless computer generated talking head, rather than listening to a person with a spirit. I mean, it's wild, man. But this is where we at. This is where we at. I don't agree with 99.9% of anything this guy Netanyahu says, but this I do. Listen to this. Why is it not playing?
But this is a different time. Rome and Jerusalem clashed over values with a great tragedy for the Jewish people. But the new Rome, the United States, views its...
Hold it. Did y'all catch that? Now, he just went and flashed back to what I just talked about earlier, and it wasn't him and his people. He talking about Rome and the Jewish people clashed over cultural differences and all that back in the past. Now, that wasn't you. That was our people. But he said the new Rome, America,
time. Rome and Jerusalem clashed over values with a great tragedy for the Jewish people. But the new Rome, the United States...
hold on. So are the Israelites tripping when we say our breakdown in Revelation 17 is Rome, Revelation 13, America is a spawn of Rome, when we talk about America is Rome and Babylon? Somebody says something that I agree with. Wow. So he's opening. He said this a couple years ago. He's openly saying that, one of the brothers, man, what's his name? I forgot. Where did I see this video? And I got to find it. But one of the elder brothers from GMS, Elder Tahar, had a video that he had shown with Alex Jones, and there was somebody else that he had. Alex Jones had on his, I don't know if it was on his Twitter or if it was on YouTube or something, but he had said, there's an Edomite on there, he said that Esau, Edom is Europe. And, of course, the small hats are saying they at war with Esau. They want to destroy Esau. And Alex Jones said, Trump is trying to protect Edom. He's trying to save Edom from destruction. I mean, these cats know what's going on, man. I wish I had that video. I just happened to stumble on my timeline. It says something about Alex Jones says America's Rome. So I forgot what the damn title was. But anyway, it was interesting. If I find it, I'm gonna have to double back on it and give props to the elder, because he had that video, and I've seen it on my timeline or my YouTube feed. I was like, what? I listened to it. Or I got to find out where he got it from, because he was playing the video from someplace else. But for sure, them cats said, man, Trump is trying to save Edom. And they said that Esau is the Europeans. So go figure that they know all this truth. And we're the ones sitting back saying Esau's the lost of our people, talking about Esau is not the white man. The lost of our people talking about they get salvation. I mean, come on. He just said, America's the new Rome.
The United States views itself as a new Jerusalem. We visited the original city on the hill.
Get out of here, man. But there you go. Like I said, I don't agree with this devil too much, man, but for once he told the truth. Moving on. Just want to drop that to y'all. Look at this spaceship, 3i Atlas. This has been a big hype too. They pandering that in the algorithm, right? Oh, it's a big old mothership. It's an alien. It's an asteroid. What's out there? Who's out there? One thing I thought this was probably kind of interesting is not to get too off into the numerology thing, but. Now it says the 3i Atlas has 12 anomalies. Here's all of them and why they prove the alien theory. Now, the one thing I noticed is number 12. We know there's 12 tribes, right? Now they're saying this particular spaceship got 12 anomalies that are proving that it's quote unquote alien. What else had 12? You got 12 cranial nerves in your brain. You've got 12 hours in a day, 12 hours at night. It's 12 months in a year. How many things surround 12, right? 12 gates to get into the kingdom. Now, the fact is, it got 12 anomalies. It make me scratch my head and say, well, this number 12 keeps popping up. You know, even on the left-hand side, you got the 12 zodiac sign. I mean, everything, I'm not going to say everything, but, you know, there's so many things that surround 12. And I thought that was interesting. You know, I don't get, this is another thing why I said, you know, you got the blinders on. You don't want to keep, you know, quit trying to look too far to the left because, you know, Esau, when he's speaking fair, believe him not. But he's trying to, you know, even and I've shared this before with the book Behold the Pale Horse. That was written in like 91, 92. And the guy William Cooper, man, Edomite, man, they put him to death too. He had said that it's gonna in the latter times, man, the government is gonna start pushing not only a cashless society, but they're gonna say that there's an alien invasion. They're receiving intelligence from the aliens. The aliens are gonna help them run the government. Anybody that opposes this is going to be put to death, and there's going to be camps and FEMA camps, all this stuff. And he said, even if that's not true, you know, they're going to use that as a means to, you know, encompass a new world plus order. Let's put it that way, right? So when you keep hearing about these things, now don't get me wrong, we definitely know the chariots is real, the chariots is coming, but this whole thing, I'm not buying it. A lot of this is coming, like they said, this is coming from this Harvard professor. He's shouting at the top of his lungs. Everybody better listen to me. You know, very similar to uh the Netflix movie Don't Look Up, or the other one, The Three Body Problem. If y'all check them out, notice there's always something with the three body problem. That's a 3-eye atlas. You check that series out on Netflix, or the Don't Look Up. Everybody was watching those things. You know, they feed off of these particular things, and then they throw it into the algorithm, man. They throw it into the spirit and try to see where and how people react to it. But like I said, in that book, Behold the Pale Horse, he that dude, the Edomite said, man, they gonna come up with alien theories, man. They're gonna say they made contact and aliens is talking to them and helping them gather intelligence and leading the government. You know, all kind of matters. Maybe next time I pop up, I'll read some of the excerpts out of that book. Maybe I'll do it on the Library Chronicles. Haven't done that in a while. Maybe I'll bring that out and precept this 3-eye atlas thing. But I just thought that it was interesting that they had 12 anomalies. So, and I didn't. The article was pretty long, so I didn't go into all 12 of them. But just the fact that number 12 was part of their quote unquote research kind of made sense in the spirit, just to kind of see where they're going with it. So if there is any truth to it, know that it's coming on behalf of Israel. Let's just say that. Let's move on. A Washington resident hospitalized with a new virus never seen before in humans. Uh-oh. See, the gauntlet is being pulled down, man. He's letting out and putting out everything and anything now. You see the economic crash is on deck. I just seen a report earlier, a notification earlier. Bitcoin is down to 84,000. What was it, like 98, 3-4 days ago? It's continually crashing. Imagine how many people was having their tap dance shoes on. They was clicking their heels when it was at 121,000 a few months ago. It was talking 200,000 by those December, and then next you know, brakes got hit, man. Everything crashed. That don't get us. We got new virus out. Remember, he's got Marburg, disease X. He got airborne Ebola. He got all kind of stuff. Now we got a new virus never before seen in humans. Another strain of the bird flu. Look at this. A Washington State resident, and remember back when the COVID hit, the first case was in Washington. Cat came from China, as Agent Orange would say. It came from China. Let's see. Do I remember, or let me remind y'all? Oh, okay. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, huh? The first confirmed case of COVID in Washington State was where? In Washington State was reported on January 21st, 2020, involving a man from Snohomish County who had recently traveled to Wuhan, China. Sound familiar? Oh, and we're at the end of November almost, leading into December, almost to January. The playbook don't change. Here we go. Washington resident hospitalized with a virus never seen before. They're inhumans. They pulled this leak for almost 5 years ago. Same state. Good Lord. Esau is too funny, man. He think he's slick, but if you watch this devil, man, and you track him, you know his playbook, man. You know what he's doing. So Israel, man, get out there on your preventative care, man. Make sure you got your ginger, you got your garlic, you got your vitamin C, D, you got your elderberry, you got your your golden seal, your echinacea. Get all that good stuff ready, and just start taking it out. You understand? Because who knows what this devil's gonna do? There's already bug flying around. Remember, he always talks about flu season, and you start seeing the commercials coming on, and how the hell do you know when to start paying for these advertisements? If you're saying the season is coming, they're already prepping you, saying, guess what? We already start poking up these dummies who's getting their flu shots poked up in their arms so they can become super spreaders, and you're gonna go ahead and get sick. And if they ain't got it, they ain't traveling, they around everybody at their folly days. Here come the spread. Next thing you know, you see the Mucinex commercials, NyQuil commercials, Sudafed commercials. They got all the damn commercials ready to go so they can make that money. So here they go playing the same game again. The patient, an older adult with underlying conditions, was hospitalized with a strain of bird flu in early November after suffering from high fever, confusion, and severe breathing difficulties, officials say. They were first treated by doctors in Grays Harbor County, about 100 miles west of Seattle, before being transferred to an unnamed hospital in King County, where Seattle is based for specialist care. So keep that in mind. They got something on the loose. Trump peace plan demands major concessions for Ukraine. That's what we talked about earlier. Now look at this. I said this the other day in the DSTM I did on the new moon. Trump said that all the financial problems, man, is in your imagination, man. It's not real. It's a hoax. The Demo-Crips is out there fooling you. Ain't nothing changed. Everything's affordable. Everything's good, man. Why are you not out here balling? What's the problem? At the same breath, he's saying, "Oh, I know it's hard out there. I'm gonna break you off with $2,000 from the tariffs." Huh? And you ain't even got the bread for that. What are you talking about? You ain't got the money to give out them damn tariff money. But hey, if he can string you along to win back the hearts and the minds of the people, because he's losing the grip on them, he's doing that. Look at it. Middle class is buckling under almost 5 years of persistent inflation. He said inflation's at zero. There is no inflation. He said gas is at $2.70. And after I looked at it, gas is over $3 nationally. There's about 5 or 6 states that is under $2.70 or under. The rest of the damn country is over $3, man. Knock it off. So now middle class is considered 6 figures. That ain't making it no more. Remember that used to be the American dream, man? With 6 figures, a house, 2-car garage, and all that. That now is poor. So imagine those of us making less than 6 figures. Where does that put us at? You understand what I'm saying? Like if the 6 figure, remember they used to say a 7-figure nigga, a 6-figure nigga? Like, that's out of here. Being a thousandaire, that used to be a Negro's dream. Hey, man, just make me a thousandaire. I don't need to be a millionaire. That ain't even the case no more. Clearly going to be the haves and have-nots as we move on. Look at this. Americans with six-figure incomes are in survival mode. See that? Now making 100, 200, 300,000. That is not making it anymore in America. Curse be the day, huh? That means for anybody a lower, you talking about fight for survival. Like, that's really what it's going to boil down to. Be prepared, y'all. Here we go. Cough it up. New U.S. border checks from December 26th, and it could mean handing over your DNA. Listen to this, y'all. This kind of goes into the beast system, the cameras, the monitoring, the things that we were talking about with the marking of the beast system, right? Now they're talking about DNA swabs could be taken starting this December 26th, and they can hold your DNA. Look at it. New security measures are being rolled out on December 26th, and travelers could have to hand over their DNA to cross the U.S. border. Authorities will ask for a cache of personal information to combat anybody overstaying their welcome. So remember, for Americans going to Europe, they're talking about they need your biometrics and all that. You got to have biometrics to enter Europe now. Now they're saying to come to America, they might be swapping for DNA. Eventually, they're going to cross it all over, and it's going to be the same thing. Universally, DNA, biometrics to identify you. You won't be able to travel. Remember, we just got to read in 2 Ezra 15. The man shall desire to go into a city and not be able. We didn't read that, but it's part of that chapter. Authorities will ask for a cache of personal information to combat anyone overstaying their welcome. The new travel rules apply to any non-citizen who's entering or leaving America. Government documents seen by Reuters reveal starting next month, U.S. border authorities will be allowed to photograph travelers at airports and use facial recognition to compare their information with existing records. The records can be held for up to 75 years. So don't have some family from another country. You got family in Mexico, Salvador, Puerto Rico, Jamaica, wherever the case may be, and they coming over here, they're going to get swapped down, snatched up, information held for 75 years. They're going to connect it with you. Who you visiting? How long you been here? What's the address? Yeah, now you're in the mix. Watch everybody. You understand? And just like they were saying, and going to Europe, they want biometrics over there. They enter and monitor and track everywhere you go. It's the way of the world, y'all. They're talking about 2,000 UPS workers going to go on strike. Why? Because they're getting replaced by AI. They're getting laid off. Now they want some more money. Good luck with that, because UPS is laying off. Now they're talking about Christmas chaos and Christmas delivery. Good. All praises, man. Ruin Christmas. The Grinch is here. You ain't getting no damn gifts. UPS workers are trying to strike. They want some more money. Don't we all? But we'll see how far that goes, because again, UPS is laying off like crazy. Do you think they're worried about 2,000 people striking? They'll get rid of them, man. There's plenty of people out there willing to take a holiday shift to get some money. They're going to cross that line and to eat. There's many people out here looking for jobs and starving out here, let alone they're stalling for some time for AI and the damn robots to come in there and take over some of these other jobs too. So good luck on that one. Now, this is interesting right here. There's another one. Watch this. Border Patrol is monitoring U.S. drivers and detaining those with suspicious travel patterns. This is a whole nother thing, man. They've got cameras all over the place, man, at the borders, statewide. In particular, I'm about to play a video down in Texas, right? They got these license plate readers all over. The cameras are capturing every license plate, man, documenting each time it sees it, where it's traveling, where it's going. And if the AI says this pattern is suspicious, they notify the cops. The cops start trailing and following and creating a record of particular cars. Now, let's say you working in it. Imagine that you got, let's say, on the East Coast, and this is just an example. I'm not saying this is what's happening, but just for an example, that tri-state area is pretty close together. You can live in New Jersey but work in New York, right? Equivalent California, that's like I live in LA, but I work in the Valley, and I got to drive 30 or 45 minutes to my job every day. California is that big. New York, New Jersey, they so damn small and close together. You can travel from Philly to New York in an hour and some change, 2 hours, depending on where you're going. California, you're just being a whole nother city or county. Now imagine if you're going back and forth from New Jersey to New York every day, and these license plate readers are watching this, and then they submit your license plate and says, this car has got suspicious travel patterns. They're constantly going back and forth. Sometimes they go at 3 a.m. Sometimes they go at 6 a.m. Like anything they deem suspicious, now Border Patrol or whatever else is going to make notice. Now that's just an example. Not that that's the state. This particular case was happening in Texas. So because Texas is bordering with Mexico, whatever the case may be, the damn cameras is popping up and they saying this is suspicious. So now people are getting randomly stopped and harassed, detained, because they don't like your travel patterns. Look at it. U.S. Borders monitoring millions of American drivers nationwide in a secretive program to identify and detain people whose travel patterns is deemed suspicious. The predictive intelligence program has resulted in people being stopped, searched, and in some cases arrested. A network of camera scans and records, vehicle license plate information, and an algorithm flags vehicles deemed suspicious based on where they came from, where they were going, and which route they took. Federal agents in turn may then flag local law enforcement. A man shall desire to go into a city and not be able. Suddenly, drivers find themselves pulled over, often for reasons cited such as speeding, failure to signal, the wrong window tint, or even a dangling air freshener blocking the view. So in other words, some bullshit reasonings they make up, stop you, and it's really about them tracking you and questioning your travel patterns and then thinking maybe we can catch something on them. Let me just get to the video. Y'all can see this.
Hey, how you doing, brother? Hey, my name is Joel. I'm with the Bear County.
And another thing, watch how they treat this Edomite. Imagine, just think, would they treat an Israelite the same way they treat this white boy? Watch this.
Terrorist office. The only reason I'm stopping you is when I was watching over there, you were drifting over that fog line. I just want to make sure everything's okay.
Now you hear him. He said the only reason why I stopped you because he was drifting over that fog line pretty tough. I just want to make sure everything's okay. So number one, he's saying drifting as if he might be intoxicated or something like that. He doesn't question none of those things.
Got your driver's license on you? It's not going to be a ticket. It's going to be a warning. Hey, I'm going to have you step out and sit in my passenger seat while I do your warning, okay? Thanks a lot, man.
The moment he asked me to get out of my vehicle, I knew right away something was fishy about the entire thing.
Now, did you hear him? He said, I'm going to have you get out and sit in my passenger seat. You know damn well, black nigga and Hispanic, you not sitting in the passenger seat. You're not riding shotgun with the damn cops. You getting handcuffed, you getting thrown in the back of the car immediately. Esau pulls over another Edomite man. Hey brother, how you doing, man? Reason why I stopped you, man, I'm officer such and such for the Becker County. I see you kind of swerving a little bit over there, man. You're not gonna get arrested. I'm just give you a warning, but I'm just have you get out and go ride shotgun in the car, man, when I look around. How's that sound? And you say that there's not systematic racism going on in this place, but you saying that we don't get targeted, we don't get treated different. I digress. Let me let it go.
Hey, how you doing, brother? Hey, my name is Joel. I'm with the Bexar County Sheriff's Office. The only reason I'm stopping you.
Now he says my name is Joel. He don't even say I'm officer such and such. They post on first name basis. Do they do that with us? No, they establish authority. I'm officer, Hillbilly. Hey, I'm Joel. How you doing, man? What's your name? Give me a damn break, man. But anyway, let me let this play, because guess what? If they're gonna do it to Esau, man, you know damn well they're gonna do it to you and me.
Hey, how you doing, brother? Hey, my name is Joel. I'm with the Bexar County Sheriff's Office. The only reason I'm stopping you is when I was watching over there, you were drifting over that fog line pretty hard. I just want to make sure everything's okay. You have your driver's license on you? It's not going to be a ticket. It's going to be a warning. Hey, I'm going to have you step out and sit in my passenger seat while I do your warning, okay? Thanks a lot, man.
The moment he asked me to get out of my vehicle, I knew right away something was fishy about the entire thing. I've been pulled over a few times in my life for speeding tickets, and that was a very unnatural thing to be requested for a warning violation.
Do you have anything in your vehicle that you're not supposed to have? Okay. All right. Would you allow me to search your vehicle?
They in there just chilling. You got anything suspicious in the vehicle? Okay. You mind if I search it? He says, I prefer not. They in there having a whole conversation, man. When the hell do you ever have a person of suspicion not cuffed, riding shotgun in the damn car with you? This damn thing.
Hey, how you doing, brother? Just want to make sure everything's okay. You have to be a warning. Hey, I'm going to have you step out and sit in my passenger seat while I do your warning, okay? Thanks a lot, man.
The moment he asked me to get out of my vehicle, I knew right away something was fishy about the entire thing. I've been pulled over a few times in my life for speeding tickets, and that was a very unnatural thing to be requested for a warning violation.
He's caught up in a secretive.
Do you have anything in your vehicle that you're not supposed to have? Okay. All right. Would you allow me to search your vehicle? Okay. So what I'll do is we have a canine pretty close, so I'm gonna have a canine come out and do a walk around your vehicle. He's coming up. This is
What's going on? Yeah, so it's off that thing. So I don't want to too much, but this is one of the ones.
You hear him talking in code? Yeah, it's off that thing. Yeah, I don't want to talk to him. So because he knows that damn his camera's on and mic is on. So he's talking in code. Yeah, it's off that thing. Yeah, I didn't want to take too much. Meanwhile, you leave the guy in your front seat uncuffed, hanging out in your car. I mean, what the hell is going on here? Then he go over here talking in code to the other cop because he don't want to admit that this is a part of a quote unquote secretive plan.
search your vehicle? Okay. So what I'll do is we have a canine pretty close, so I'm gonna have a canine come out and do a walk.
I'm gonna stop stopping it, y'all. I'm gonna just let it play. I just can't help but to interject because this is wild.
What's going on? Yeah, so it's off that thing. So I don't want to too much, but this is one of the ones. Yeah. If you want to talk to him. Yeah, well, it's the one that was.
Now I had to stop it there because I couldn't record too much more. It was like a 7-minute video, but he was telling the canine cop. He said, "Yeah, this is the one I've been watching, and I've been tracking him. So yeah, we need to go and check him out." So long story short, they get the dog out. The dog, flashed and said they found something or got a positive alert on the driver's side. they scope it out. They didn't find nothing. They let him go. But at the same time, they start talking about the report, and the cop was like, well, I'm just going to say I did this, that, and the third. And he basically admitted on camera how he was going to, rewrite the report so that it didn't sound like he stopped him on some harassing or didn't have justification for stopping him. So he was like, yeah, if I write it up like this, it'll kind of make it look like everything was cool on the stop. So yeah, we can avoid anything with that. So I was tripping. I said, man, I don't know which is worse. Which am I more astonished at? The fact that they got these license plate trackers, man, that are monitoring and tracking everywhere that you go. And if they don't like where you're going and how often you're going, you're going to be flagged as being suspicious, and they can pull you over, harass you, give you tickets, search your car, do all this other stuff, man, and make your life a living hell just because. And that guy does construction projects, so he's driving from county to county all the time. So they've been watching him. Never got nothing on him, but this is part of the thing. So I don't know if I'm more tripping off of the damn trackers or how these Edomites be getting treated when they get pulled over. Unreal. But let's see how they treated this sister when she got pulled over in Chicago. Now look at this. Chicago woman dragged out her car after colliding with ICE, demands accountability. Here's ICE in the middle of the street causing chaos. There's I think she's a white woman here. She's like, damn, what are you doing? You about to hit me. She hits the hood of the car. They get to tripping, about to run her over. But watch this.
Yo, run over. Y'all finna get a whole lawsuit. What? Whole lawsuit.
Look at it.
Yeah.
Now, he just made an illegal U-turn, not paying attention, whipped around. She runs into him, right? Because of him doing an illegal turn. Now watch how they treat her.
Hit and run, hit and run. That's a hit and run, hit and run. Hit and run. That's a hit and run. Hit and run, hit and run. Yeah. Look, hey, watch out with that weapon. That weapon. Yo, watch out. What's wrong with you? You hit it. You hit
Look
her.
at it.
Yo.
Look at these damn rogue dog. Look at these cops, man. Look at these ICE agents, man. These cats jump out the car, straps in hand, ready to light something up after they hit this woman. And he's doing, look at these dudes, man. These maniacs is out of control.
That's a hit and run, hit and run, hit and run. That's a hit and run. Hit
He
and
jump
run,
out the
hit
car
and
ready
run.
to pop something. Look at it. He's excited.
Yeah. Look, hey, watch out with that weapon. That weapon. Yo, watch out. What's wrong with you?
Look
You
at
hit
him.
it.
Look
You
at
hit
him.
her. Yo. What's wrong? You hit her. You hit her. You guys hit her. You guys hit her. What's wrong with y'all? Y'all hit her? Y'all bust a whole U-turn in the middle of the street. Y'all hit her. Y'all on camera. Leave her alone. She ain't even do shit. She trying to go to work. She's trying to go to work. Oh, what? Y'all some crazy. Y'all got no heart, for real. No heart. No heart. Get off! Crazy. She's a female. Get off her right now. You guys hit her. How you guys gonna arrest her? Get off. You guys hit her. Man, how you gonna arrest her, man?
This is the secret police. This is where we see the Gestapo, full immunity, running wild, Agent Orange, patrol out here, ramming other people's cars, dragging her out, arresting her. The people that are filming, calling them out, they're saying those are domestic terrorists. And they got no right to be doing what they're doing to the sister. She out there barefoot, man, dragged her out. She trying to go to work. Now, these cats is out of control. That's why I said, man, these rogue ICE agents, man, is losing their damn mind. And it's getting more dangerous out there, man. I showed y'all the video last week where they had the cat, they had him hemmed up in the store. And the Edomite was filming him saying, I'm a veteran, I'm a veteran. Who are you? Who are you? What are you? Are you ICE? Are you ICE? Are you cops? And they would not answer, just like now. Dragged her out the car after they hit her. God, bogus as fuck.
You hit her! You guys hit her! You guys hit her! Whole roster right there!
Unbelievable, man. This is the state we're living in. Police state is here, y'all. It ain't coming, it's here. Look at this. ICE almost deports a Native American woman as cops tell terrified family they can't help. I talked about this last Wednesday in DSTM. And now here's the particular article. A Native American woman was almost deported by U.S. Immigration Customs and Enforcement after an alleged clerical mix-up. This woman is quote unquote indigenous to America, and they get ready. They was about to deport her over a quote clerical mix-up. Arizona native Leticia Jacobo had been scheduled to be released from an Iowa jail, but when her mom arrived to pick her up, the despairing parent was told that Leticia, 24, would be handed over to immigration agents despite being a member of Arizona's Salt River Pima Maricopa Indian community. Nobody is safe, man. Nobody is safe. Look, out of control ICE agent yells, "Do something, B," before shooting a Chicago woman 5 times. The video is in stark conflict with the government's account that federal agents in Broadview were boxed in by 10 cars, and the woman, Miramar Martinez, was one of the drivers. Now, here's a quote from this particular article. And let me look at this on this other side too, because it was the sister Miramar Martinez, and I believe it was her brother. They're both in the car. They arrested both of them, right? They arrested them saying that they rammed an ICE agent's car and they were surrounded and they were committing acts of domestic terrorism. They were both facing 20 years. This is even after they shot the woman 5 times. So the court came clean and said, we're throwing those the domestic terrorist charges out. This was unlawful. This wasn't right. We're exonerating the woman and her brother. DOJ drops charges against a woman shot by a CBP agent in Chicago after being accused of ramming a car. Now imagine if that was the same thing that happened to that sister. They over here ramming car. I mean, it's out of control, man. Now it says the Department of Justice has abruptly moved to dismiss the indictment against 2 people accused last month of ambushing federal agents conducting an immigration sweep in Chicago, including a woman who was shot 5 times in the incident. Now, they were saying that they were interrupting this immigration sweep and they were surrounded by cars, and this woman just, randomly just decided to go play bumper cars and ram her car into them, and they had to fire, shoot and fire on her and then arrest her and the brother, right? They were facing 20 years last month. Supreme Court, DOJ, Department of Justice said, man, drop the charges, man. This is bull stuff. We seen the video. These cats is lying. This is off. Now look at this. This is part of this particular article. Now, they told the woman, the ICE agent jumps out and says, do something, B, before shooting her 5 times. Now, this is this is what the ICE agents and Homeland Security all say after this particular judgment. Despite the DOJ dropping the charges, the Department of Homeland Security doubled down Thursday, maintaining that, quote, Border Patrol law enforcement officers were ambushed by domestic terrorists. Our law enforcement shows incredible restraint and prudence in their exercise of force. Did we just see that in that video? The law enforcement showing incredible restraint and prudence in the exercise of force? As they hit that woman and jumped out the car, guns a-blazing, dragging her out the car, barefoot and all, not identified. I don't need to go on. Y'all seen it with your own 2 eyes like I did. Y'all seen it with your own 2 eyes like I did. again, y'all, this is the bizarro world that we're living in. That they'll tell you that it's raining and they out here full-blown zippers down peeing on you. And because they said it, it's true. Unbelievable. But there you have it, y'all. I'm gonna close out with this one, with that one, man. Lord willing, y'all got some edification tonight, man, and got something to meditate and think on, this evening. If you're watching this on the Sabbath during the daytime, man, Lord willing, you get some edification from that. Shabbat shalom to you. But other than that, man, Lord willing, we'll catch up with y'all tomorrow. MOTC closing Shabbat class will be at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Tune in, tap in. As always, man, make sure you wipe your feet on your way in or on your way out. With that being said, always remember, fear the Most High, keep the commandments, but lastly, don't shoot the messenger. Shalom.